And we are back in the left-hand corner of the map, playing as Poseidon. His name is Themista.
What is going on, everyone? My name is Nakamura, and we are back with some Age of Mythology, the retold action. In the red color, this is Kimo playing as Gaia.
Oh, baby, it's semi-finals action, Naka. What a time to be alive. Wrath of the Gods retold. It's been a long journey to get here. It's been 4 weeks of non-stop action, incredible games, all of the good stuff. But, you know, it's semi-finals. This is where big moments occur. Kimo making it through this far. Mister making it through this far. Walk me through this. What are you seeing on this map, Giza? Is there anything here that it's indicating yay or oh dear for these players?
Well, there are deer. There are gazelles,
Oh,
however. Never mind, there's no deer. You also make a really great point, actually, about how hard the players have worked for this to get here and how many games they've played. The big payoff is coming with $12,000 on the line. The map's really good, though, for a quick 2TC for Themista. There's rhinos right next door. The trees are lending themselves to an easy wall off. This is great. And there's a pretty easy gold mine nearby. Or if he becomes daring, the forward TC actually does have a rear gold mine as well. But that maybe is a little bit riskier with how exposed the rest of it is and how cut off it becomes. I think for Kimo, you just are gonna go to TC anyway, right? Just gotta be really careful with the hero harassment. And then after the races, we go with heroic. Will require a bunch of catapulties though.
Yeah, I do think that there is a build which nets you a guaranteed town center that I don't think Poseidon, even advancing at 315, can stop. And the secret to it is simply just getting your second Gaia forest down nice and early on your second town center or second settlement, and then wedging the citizens in there so they can't get harassed. Little secrets, saving him for next tournament. Everyone's going to be shocked, surprised.
Yeah, you can even make a banner there if you really want to.
Yeah, chuck a banner down to block them in, and then they just, you just can't harass them. It's a really neat trick if you really want to go for a fast second town center. But we've already got Hermes coming through here for the mystery. He's got a really nice gold mine sharing that storehouse. Going to be using that beautifully. And yeah, the centaur going to be pushing across the map. Very quick to start putting pressure onto Kimo. But, you know, he is very used to this, I feel like. He plays against a whole lot of early game pressure builds, rushes on the ladder. And I think he's not going to be shocked at anything coming at him in this game.
Yeah, no, he's going to be prepared for this. And, you know, Oceanus, you get the Caladria, you can heal your Vils, or whatever it is getting targeted. You can slow down these Mythians trying to run away from you, like the Centaur. It's Atalanta that's going to be a little bit more annoying. Themista straight up skips Theseus here.
Yeah, there's almost no point. If there's not a relic, to pick up, why grab him? He's not going to. You can build him later and send him over to the town center to defend against the Carnivora when you're going for the town center. But wow, Kimo, this is a new Kimo. No fast second town center here. It's military academy and counter barracks. Military barracks and counter barracks getting dropped down.
Well, Themista just picks up Ptah's scepter and he will be guarding. Oh wait, sorry, he does have a Theseus. Bridle of Pegasus is also picked up. 2 heroes will be chilling by the TC. Does that mean that Themista wants that? Yes, he just deposited the gold. That's where he's going. Safe against Carnivora. At this point,
this is one of the sort of rare games or rare moments here where it kind of looks like Mystery hasn't scouted what he needs to scout. He's now seeing the catapulti, so he knows what's coming for him now. But normally he knows, oh, my opponent's going, he's on the town center, or he's built military buildings. He's going for a one town center play, but he kind of misses that information. And now he's locked into grabbing this town center. Whether he wanted to be on this or not, I don't know. But yeah, Kimo's doing something very different here than I think he would be expecting.
Yeah, man, when you save up this many resources, you just don't pivot into something else. That would be
No.
Very bad in terms of your overall planning. If you do go into army, it's just too slow. But hey, good news. Kimo is also going to TC behind this. Once the Pegasus relic gets deposited, I'm sure Mr. will find it out in due time. TC's done, and then he can get working on these rhinos.
Yeah, and you see him dropping the mana with the Gaia Forest here, so now it becomes even more difficult to deny this. You basically can only deny it by having a ton of units to actually just kill the settlement.
Yeah.
Which, obviously, with Mr. going 2 town centers at this point, the resources are just not there to have that out.
By the way, today I've seen this Oranos game with Kimo, and he used his Carnivore to deny a TC with Oranos, had the Shockwave ready. As soon as he advanced, he was there with the Oracle, seeing everything, planted down the plant, Shockwave the villagers, TC was gone.
Yep.
It was a really nice deny.
No Shockwave, though, for the Gaia, so you have to be a little bit more specific about it.
Exactly, you don't have those kind of tools, and the heroes are here to defend, so in this matchup, you just don't see anything cool like that. It's just... So he's a creative player like that.
Mr. now knows. He comes in. I don't think he saw the foundation, so he's not going to know exactly when that town center came up, but he will see it completed and know exactly what he's going to be in for now. Now, against Magic, in this position is a very similar position to what he was in against Magic. He just went for a fast heroic behind this. Now, on Giza, the map is much more open. He's got watchtowers here to help him out and defend him. But yeah, the map's much more open. So it might be a little bit more challenging, and maybe Kimo's going to see some weaknesses that he can exploit here. But we'll have to wait and see what the idea is, as Kimo's just going to get his economic upgrades. Stock standard. Would expect nothing less.
The boys with the bonk sticks getting some hits on the Centaur is pretty brutal. There's no way to heal this for Poseidon, of course. The heroes are really fast, and then Caladria slows it down further. 49 health. And meanwhile, the villagers that were hit earlier have regenerated back to full thanks to Lush. That's also good news for Kimo there.
Yeah, and behind this, market down for the Themista, so he's got his strategy, he's got his idea, and he is going to be attempting to execute here as he does decide to go through Aphrodite. And with Aphrodite comes a lot of fun things like golden apples. That one actually gets your favorite income going up, skyrocketing even. So you can get a whole bunch of myth units. And if there's one thing I know about the Themista, he is a big fan of those myth units. He will produce as many as he possibly can in a game.
Well, boys, he's so well set up for it. He actually abandoned chopping trees in his main.
Wild. And look at this, we're also seeing Fire come through. So both players here, it's almost like there's some sort of preconceived meta going on here, Nakamura, wouldn't you say?
2TC into Heroic. It's the name of the game. I've seen it so many times, but I've also seen a lot of Classical Age fighting actually in this tournament, so it's not all bad. Not all the same every time.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we don't see like just a little bit more like a Hippias or two. Like, just obviously you're scared about the Caladria getting that pacify in, but like these oracles just hanging around the main base here, that's a weakness. That's something you can exploit. That's something you can go and kill.
Absolutely right, and you know, even just Atalanta could go out there and get a little bit of movement on the map.
Caladria are out. Nice little snipe there. For those of you who don't know, the Centaur actually has a 100% hit rate with that special ability. You actually get it hits if you just click on it. Doesn't miss. There you go. Alrighty. Heroic Age in. Ashford's tree through.
Nice. Now we can make stuff.
Poseidon's Secret, Lance of Stone, Catapulties. I love this idea actually from Kimo, because the Themista, you know what he's going to want to do? He's going to want to make Prodromus. So Prodromus obviously counter those Poseidon's Secret, Lance of Stone, Contaris very, very simply.
Yeah.
But the Catapulties dominate them in the big fight.
Yeah, you can't
it's a really,
fight
really
them together.
move.
That's why he also needs his Hippa's Fist. and that's why he needs his Nemean Alliance. So hopefully he'll stick these guys together and not overdo the Prodromos game. That should go well from there. That's a great stun right there to open up the... Oh my god. What?
Yeah, big stun, and then the pigs coming through as well. This is going to force Kimo all the way back here as Atalanta can get in and just snipe down, at least get a little bit of damage onto the Symvalian, but it does take a while to kill that one off. But Mr. is in full go mode right now as Kimo's units are a little bit off. The timing is not quite there. Carnivora forced out. And Kimo now going to push up for the defense as it looks like Mr. needs to retreat away.
You'd think that's good enough for Mr., but no, he's re-engaging, taking the big fight. Dryads are dropping left and right. The Hippospists are on the job. Killing Catapulties, the Prodromos are all fighting cavalry. This is exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, and that Hippolyta on the back there, that thing is... I don't know what exactly happened there. It kind of looked like she was on a smoking break. She stopped firing for a bit, but does manage to take out the Stymphalian bird. And the Carnivora here is also going to fall, but it looks like Kimo is going to be okay to hold. Mr. is really spamming into this, as he's probably scared of letting this game kind of get into a boom fest, but it looks like Kimo's completely fine, and Mr. going to have to retreat back.
Yeah, boy, that's the thing. There was just more production here overall for Kimo, and once he cranked out all these Arcus, well, the Hoplites and the Hippospists don't take very kindly to that.
No. And now we see Kimo deciding to move away from his Catapulti idea, and he says, all right, well, I tell you what beats Paspists and beats Prodromus. Well, Mass Arcus do. So Mr. as well, smartly starting to go into those Peltast.
Yeah, it's what we'd like to see here. Kimo working on further upgrades like irrigation. It's dirt cheap with Gaia. 90 wood, 150 gold. Just go for it as soon as you can. He did need to survive here in this other fight, so it was important that he doesn't rush it too much. Also, he's planting extra manors by the gold mine that will allow him some cheap garrisons. Doesn't need to force up a palace just yet. It takes a long time to build. It's expensive. Let's print out some units first. We have time.
Yeah, 100%. But with Mr. now, he's got his fortress up, and I mean, we've seen this sort of time and time again. If you can get into this defensive spot and get to the Mythic Age, get the Shafts of Plague tech for those archers, then that Greek army just becomes very, very strong. But that does give all the time over to the Gaia, who's going to have that boosted economy from all those economic upgrades. That's going to be a big, big deal for him moving into this mid game.
Yeah, boy, that's what I'm worried about now when it comes to Themista situation. With 86 civilian pop to Kimo's name, I think he's very soon gearing up for that 100. The population space is there for it, and once he does, no more villagers to be made, all the eco goes straight into the bank. Mythic will be easy to get.
Yep. Kimo knocks on the front door of Mr. and Mr. says, nope, not just yet. Get out of here. Peltas can get some pot shots before the fight begins. The one thing here for the Mr. is he's got no armory upgrades at the moment, so this is going to be a tough fight, but he does have that heavy hoplite through. Peltas is going to try and move forward. We see the Carnivora getting dropped down onto the front there, but the heroes are still through for the Mr., at least the important melee ones, as the Carnivora gets taken out, and Mr. going to be trying to micro back here, spacing with those Arcus beautifully.
It's very difficult for the Javelin crew to actually get this done. They're fighting amidst Quintarius, and these Night Boys sometimes just happen to say goodnight to them. The Arcus are all up and running, kiting backwards, picking off units left and right. This is exactly where Kimo wants to be.
Yeah, and the micro here from Kimo is on point thus far, and he's forcing the Mr. to drop that ceasefire, which...
Wow.
The Mr. really doesn't want to do that. He wants that ceasefire for Emplo to try and keep it, to get the units back out and keep himself afloat here. But he is producing out these Sentais, getting those to help out, and these things can be a very, very big assist in these fights if controlled really well.
Well, Kimo does not have heroes as of yet. He would need some to deal with those. But as long as it's just a handful, I think he can kind of take it. You know what's best against them? Actually, just a handful of Contarius turned into heroes. Those just absolutely destroy them.
Yeah, exactly. Yet again, Peltas trying to get the pot shots in. I think I kind of missed the Arcus there, but nonetheless, Kimo's still taking his time, and now he's managed to click up through Atlas.
Ooh,
So that implode is on the way, as well as another town center coming down on the bottom side of the map there.
Or the next gold mine. I'm not sure this is gonna last all that much longer with Mr. having the upgrades as well now on the Vils. The big fight is about to commence. There's so many Dryads here, Boyd. I think he's maxed out. They can certainly tank for quite a long time, even against the triple hero.
But this fight here, this is the fight that Mr. wants to take. His full population. He's clicked up to the Mythic Age. Kimo has also spent all the resources on his own Mythic Age. Centaur's coming down to the bottom here to try and deny this town center, forcing the fight as Mr. retreating back. He kills off one villager, going for two. The hero Contarius gets pulled back into the main fight here. The Hoplites are going to be able to take all of those out as Mr. is microing beautifully with the Peltas on the back there as the final citizen goes down. Town center denied for the time being, but the middle engagement here does not look like it's going in favor of the Mr. there as he has to retreat back.
No, the Contarius are just doing a little bit too much work, even though Mr.'s positioning was almost impeccable. Meanwhile, the Archers were allowed to do their thing almost the whole way through. And with Mr. forced back into this position, it's just, what, 45 seconds now to the Mythic Age. Implode is going to be brutal. You can't garrison during it. The gold mine is about to run out. Where does Mr. go from here?
Okay, here's the play. He's got no wood in the bank. You drop 20 granaries around that bottom gold mine, and then you just move everyone down there.
Do that. That's all. Well, that's the Mr. therapy, but I think Kimo is much more interested in delivering the chemotherapy. I think we're speeding up a little bit too much. Can Mr. turn Kimo into kimchi or what? He's clicking the implode.
Kimo's, yeah, he's got it, and he's got. What is that? What is that place? Wait, surely he gets out of here, right? Half of Mr.'s units get out.
That's actually pretty good. And
that's
all these destroyed buildings.
Huge save there.
Yeah, but the villagers are all dead. Holy crap.
Well, there's the small things in life. He's still got an army, and this could be enough for him to come back into this game. The only thing is that once this fortress goes down, I mean, you're going to see an earthquake into the main base. Kimo's town center is going to go down. Houses are going to go down. Mr. going to be pulling back in to engage here. The Chimera is through a whole bunch of militia to join in as well. Peltas to take down the Arcus. The town center doesn't go down.
Wow, that is huge. That is huge. So many upgrades for Kimo still getting pumped, and not to mention the units in the queue. It's actually looking pretty good, but yeah, he can't fight those Peltas directly. That's for sure. 98 villagers to 78 though. That is brutal.
It's big, but the town center leaving here is the big thing. The other thing, I guess, for... Wow, looks like Mr. didn't even check the upgrades. This is... It's only fortified town centers? It is. I'm not sure how that survived. Maybe Mr. misclicked it.
He must have not exactly centered it. Yeah, I think so. Because some of these outer buildings are just not hurt. So I think he clicked it in the back. Oh no, boy. We've got the big flag from the Contarius right on top of the Peltas. This is going to be brutal.
Yeah. The Hoplites do get pulled back nicely. They do is that big Polyphemus coming through here to try and smack up and deal with those middle units, but he's getting mowed down by those Arcus, and now Mr. has to pull back and he doesn't want to see anymore. Kimo races towards the first win in this best of 5 series. Nakamura. What a game.
I was getting excited by big boy Polyphemus over there in the middle of the fight, but didn't get to see him shine too much. Well, maybe next time. There's more series to come today, but that's it for Poseidon in this one. Taking a look at the graphs. Sorry, go on.
I think so. I think this matchup, I think you just have to be a little bit more proactive with this Poseidon, sitting back and just taking it and pretending like you're playing as Zeus or Hades, who've got that restoration, who've got that Athenian hoplite. They can kind of just hold. I definitely think you got to use that early game advantage you got with Poseidon, the speedier Hippias and running around and getting some harassment onto villages and things like that. Otherwise, I feel like it's all Gaia all the way.
When it comes to this one, it's not Zeus, right? Your Hoplite and Peltas are just not going to be as performant because the Hoplites are not that fast. They can't really enter the battle that easily compared to the Zeus ones. And they don't have the Athena upgrades. So, yes, you need to make use of Poseidon's toys, and that includes the Hippias, of course. Didn't see that, and it definitely hurts. And look at that economic difference. The total resources, almost 6,000, wait, over 6,000 resources there as a difference. With Kimo being in the lead, yeah, that's a lot to work against, really. Tough stuff.
Yes, indeed. Well, Nakamura, let's go and check out what game number 2 is going to be here. And if Mr. is going to be any shook or not, we'll see. He was in this position, exact position against Magic, and was able to turn around, but let's go over and check it out. Back in the left-hand corner of the map, in the blue color, playing as 80. His name is Themista.
On the other side, in the other color, it's the other guy. Kimo is playing as Set.
Oh yes, we're on the map Blue Lagoon now. I'm already taking a look at these town centers because I think this means everything here. For Kimo, he's got a beautiful...
I think this map is called Boom Lagoon. Looking at this.
Boom Lagoon. I was going to say, look at this town center. He's got a beautiful gold mine at the south of the map. Beautiful gold mine close to it. It's got Rhino and Gazelle behind this. This is really, really nice for him. Same too for the Themista. And this could be the situation which the Themista really wants. 4 giraffe behind him. The gold mine is in front, but with the sentinels, he can kind of secure that position. And then in front, all he needs is just like one wall, and he can put a fortress down, and he's good to go. But the question is, how does he secure that position and continue all the timings that work for him in this matchup? We'll have to wait and see if he can pull it off or not, but we've already got Kimo forward on the map, stealing Zebra. It's an interesting decision, Naka.
When you go to your chat, do they usually start following you? Is that how it works? I'm not sure casters have this ability. Anyway. He's empowering... Whoa, Kimo. We're empowering the monument? Huh?
This is
not Ra.
Decision. This is a decision. Oh! Yeah, I think he thinks he's playing Ra. So, empowering the monument does give you something. It gives you an extra 0.02 favor a second.
That's not a lot.
Now, the good thing for Kimo, the good thing about Kimo, the good thing in general with all things Kimo related is his build orders are generally, let's just say they're improvised.
That is, boy, this is 1.2 favor per minute that he's getting out of that.
Yep.
Don't do this at home, chat. You will lose.
Kimo might not, though.
Kimo might not.
I mean, to be completely fair, if you look at this from a, I guess like the angle of, if you look at this from like a 1440p super zoomed in angle, you kind of see the empowerment. It kind of looks like the granary is being empowered.
Nah. No, you just click the monument, right? And there. Oh, it's Ajax. He's making my favorite sound.
Yeah, he's in and he's going to be taking out those Zebra. Definitely want to snipe those off and prevent them from getting eaten easily here.
Hey, he pulled off the Pharaoh. Mission complete.
Well, I mean, there's nothing left over there. Oh dear. Second monument though for Kimo as he's dropping a little village at the back of his base.
Yeah.
Who said pro players don't make pretty bases? Look at this little village. This is like the first suburbs. You got
They're
the
almost
city,
aligned. It's
and then
like
you move out into the suburbs.
need to get the Age of Empires 4 streets in between, and it's all sorted out.
Yeah. In a way, this plays around Earthquake. Like, do you Earthquake all the houses, or do you Earthquake the town center?
Wow, a barracks getting built by freaking 5-6 villagers. He's committed.
Yeah, and there's Vision coming down as well. As Mr. He is just scouting around. Kimo, he's going to see handful of villagers on wood, handful of villagers on gold. Achilles is out, Minotaur is out. This is just going to be waiting for the time being. He's got the resources.
A quarter
to get
of
the town
his
center up
vision
at this
is
moment.
wasted, though.
Yeah, it's gone,
so much more.
He could have. He doesn't have anything over there. He needs to send units over the town, so he's going to be so late on this. But that being said, there are some weaknesses just in the position of Mr. Anyways. Even if he gets the town center up, wood line, that can get harassed. Gold mine, that can get harassed. So it's not going to be a simple situation here. Mr. does have restoration. He does have Ajax and Achilles. It's going to be a challenge to beat that up. So I don't know if this idea is just a shifting sands denial in a town center or not.
I guess he didn't want to commit to it, seeing that both heroes are out. You know, but when you see that the town center is late, you don't just go for it because the two heroes will mess up everything you're sending. And then you're delivering some animals as well for the Greek villagers to hunt. I don't think so. I don't think that's the move. But here, after this, when those boys are out of position, maybe trying to snag a hunter is not a bad idea. It's just there's no one there. Won't happen.
Yeah, and now Watchtower is just up. Kimo moving up to this top spot to go, what's happening here? He's going to get greeted by the Zom.
It's
and
so
Mister's got everything that he wants right now. These units aren't getting anything.
Bro.
Priest gets taken out.
No.
Animals are going to die on the retreat, but no, they're not going to die. They live. The immortal gazelle.
Losing the priest there, very annoying. And the towers are upgraded.
Yeah,
it's so cheap to get it done in Retold. They're not very strong, but hey, it's more than nothing.
Yeah, if you want to get those things hidden like a truck, you got to get your armory upgrades or your weapons upgrades, and you got to get your guard tower upgrades, ballista upgrades if you're Egyptian. Crenellations. There's so many upgrades that apply to the buildings that help them out.
Even ballistics, but Hades gets that for free.
True. Ooh. Ajax moving forward, sees the Wadgets. This is a very, very aggressive Kimo with these Wadgets here. He's going for a 4 town center behind all of this now. Wow. I mean, in terms of just total resources, because of that monument shenanigans that happened in the early game to Kimo, he's going to be behind where he's normally used to be. But, end of the day, those sort of margins, they matter only for the smallest amount of time. If you're going to go into a boom war against this, like Mister's kind of doing, it might not be that big of a deal. So Mr. Kimo might be able to pull himself back from Mister's kind of clutches at this point.
Yeah, but if we look at the resources, not only does Mister have 9 extra villagers, but he has resources that are very closely aligned to what he needs for heroic. The market's already up, so it's really just a matter of moments until he drops off enough food. The back hunt is almost about to expire, so he needs to do this soon. Otherwise, he just won't have the income anymore to do it.
He's still got a whole bunch of goat in the main base, and he does have that husbandry, so he's going to be getting tons of food there if necessary. But yeah, now Kimo is looking to go to the next stage as well. I mean, Naka, I hate to say it, but it's slightly different, but this is looking very, very similar to the game we watched from Mr. versus Kimo. So Mr. versus Magic earlier on Marsh.
To be honest, it's also similar to the Poseidon Gaia game here.
Yeah, which does mean we're going to be seeing a very... Oh, no, it's segment. Okay, it's different. All right, all good. Something's different. Segment coming through.
Nice.
Kimo's going to be able to go for like those chariot archers and make life a little bit challenging here. The question is, does Kimo rush straight to the Mythic Age at the moment? Or is he going to try and put pressure on and try and get like a gold star? This gold mine here is very open. If Kimo can push forward and maybe put a Migdol stronghold down there, could be a way to go.
Oh, Kimo has been liking segment quite a bit. I can tell you that. He's used it in the other series he's had as well today against Rappel. Enjoyed his little citadel. But by the way, meanwhile, while we were chit-chatting, the Minotaur and Achilles both got a villager kill. So Mista is further increasing his villager lead there. He's getting Sarissa. He's gonna get medium infantry and then print some hoplites, Tuxodes, maybe a handful of Hippospis as well, if there's any Axemen to counter. He's got 2 relics, the Pygmalion statues, so those villagers are chonkers. And oh, we just turned everyone into pigs.
That kind of makes a lot of sense. That killing off all the spearmen allows the Achilles to get in there, and now he's actually going to be able to get some value with that army instead of just losing it straight up. It's a nice play there, but the pigs go over to Kimo's side. He can send them back home. Do see a cheeky little monument to the priest coming up onto the front though. Nemean Lion stun plus Ajax shank.
Damn.
Means dead villager.
And he's back on top of the vills again. Another villager kill coming through if there's no heal. Oh wait, he pulls back. Lucky for Kimo. Forward fortress. Is this gonna be a Petrobolas push? Or just securing the gold mine? Ah, just the gold mine. Okay.
Yeah, this fortress series is like Mr. is recognizing this weakness, and he's just like, all right, I just put up my own building there. If that's there, then Kimo can't put it up. It makes a lot of sense.
It does. So, we know the strat, boys. It's your favorite bone bow chariots.
Oh, baby. Is it my favorite or is it my least favorite? Which one?
The second.
And this is a little bit different. We're not going to be seeing a fast mythic behind this. We're seeing Mr. going for Peltast, Hoplite, Petropolis, and Kimo is obviously sticking it out in this heroic age, going for a ton of chariot archers here.
Bug goes boom. Didn't do much of a muchness,
Kimo.
but clip the units a bit. And we do get a
one Petropolis already out. This is so nice. This is... Kimo not paying attention. You got to be so careful with these chariot archers. You've got the range on them, but you have to be spacing those Peltast, otherwise they come through and they dominate. And now a couple of camels coming in, making life a little bit difficult here. Trying to take out that Petropolis on the back. Not quite able to get in there. Good micro from Mr.
I generally love from Mista, you know, in all of these games, how well he's protecting his vulnerable units with hoplites. Every time he pulls them back when there's something sneaky happening, and you just don't get in for free against this guy.
Yeah. But I guess the difficult thing here for Kimo at the moment is just production. He's got a lot of gold in the bank, and he's not quite able to produce out these units fast enough, and this is kind of meaning he's not getting that chariot archer death ball that he really wants to construct here. And slowly but surely, this Petropolis push is going to be making Kimo's life very, very difficult. And we actually see some mercenary cavalry coming through as restoration gets dropped down.
Ah, but they get stunned, and the hoplites are once again in position. It's going to be very difficult to get on top of the Petrobolas. Those guys are also forcing so many repairs and just taking 9 villagers out of the economy with that. It's pretty nice. Kimo spent all his life savings on mercenaries. Wow.
Oh. The chariot archer number is slowly creeping up, but those Peltast still holding on the position. Migdol's stronghold still sitting here. Very, very strong to stay on that spot. Lots of villagers are kind of idled though while this is all going on. So Mr. is slowly but surely pulling ahead in this game from this position.
There's another problem for Kimo. The villagers is stuck. There's only 3 villagers gathering food. That's why.
That hurts so much. Kimo's villager differential is actually kind of close here in this game, but without any villagers on food, Mr. is definitely going to be finding himself an advantage here very, very quickly. Those Petropoli getting all the damage that they need to at this point, and Kimo just can't hold here.
Seems to me, boy, that Mysta's had enough. He's bringing in the hoplites. He's still shooting with the peltas after all. Why not? Chariots really can't stop this if there's no Migdor strongholds. There's no more chariots. And Themista can just take it like a champ.
Yeah, and now Kimo, all he can do is pull back. The peltas here can keep pushing forward, but, you know, Kimo trying to get up another Migdor stronghold behind this, but this is the only one he's got. He's got 82 favor in the bank. He can make a whole bunch of Wadgets here, which would be a really big help. Villagers coming through to try and shank down and help out, but the Chariot Archer numbers are disintegrating here as the Themista is finding a ridiculous advantage cooking in this game. Town center goes down. Kimo with very little remaining at the moment.
It's just really hard to see where Kimo could go from here. I guess it's time to find the resign button. And he does, as Themista just has a second restoration even to flex a little bit. Yep, that will do it.
I mean, Mister's got a second restoration, but Kimo's almost got a second Citadel center, so it's not like the favor was anything here. This was a wild, very, very different game, seeing Mister kind of adapt to what Kimo threw at him, but just on the fact, I think, with Kimo's sort of mistake early game, you look at the difference in resources in the early game here. Kimo's already behind at 4 minutes by 500 resources just because that Pharaoh wasn't empowering. And it might not seem like a lot, but it is. And that is the smallest amount of margins that Mister is able to just push really, really hard in this game. Game number 3 in the right-hand corner of the map, in the blue color, playing as Thor. His name is Themista.
And his opponents in the red, other side of the map, Kimo, Kronos.
And look at this already from Themista. He has claimed his goats. He's grouping them up, and he is going to shepherd them back like the farmer he is, like the herdsman he is. He is saying, these are mine. I will take my goat, and I will say good night to you and your oracle shenanigan ways.
That's right. This is why he played AoE 4 this whole time. He learned how to do it correctly, and now he's doing it in AOM. Perfect.
It's so good.
This is the only thing he got out of AoE 4.
He got 13 goats.
That's a lot. But hey, on Retoad's Ghost Lake, there's actually quite a bunch of goats on the side every now and then. Not this time. There's 2 more up north, and in the northwest as well. That's it.
Yeah, and literally, this is wild. I don't actually think I've ever seen an Atlantean player get out. I don't know what I'm gonna say get out goated, but I guess, you know, Mister is the goat, so he's gonna get all the goats.
Very good. Wait, there's gonna be 6 potential goats that he can pick up. He's also not found a temple thus far, but it shouldn't be impossible to get the Oracle in. It's just that Mista is gonna have the Hearse already. He's getting it before the classical age. We talked about this pre-match, and essentially,
yeah,
that one Herseer is an essential part of defending any potential lethal cheese, so you might as well just get the boy out early on and make sure that you have him. And hey, if he doesn't get his temple deconstructed, then even better.
This is the new and improved Thor build order. We watched this game of Mr. playing Magic in the qualifier, and Mr. was literally freestyling with Thor. This is the one where he was prepared. He's like, yeah, I'm just gonna. I know what I'm gonna get the exact amount of food. I'm gonna get my Herso out nice and fast so deconstruct doesn't defeat me, and he plays around everything. But Kimo, he's not going for it. He goes much later advance time. This isn't a fast advance time by any stretch of the word. He's getting himself the Oracle Heroes. He's grabbing a relic in the middle of the map. Gets
Tell you what, this is
Eye of Onlu.
I think he wants a 2TC.
I mean, it's Kimo.
It is Kimo.
He hasn't gone for standard play one time yet. it seems. Well, he kind of did with the Gaia, but super standard play one time just yet with his gameplay. Last game kind of went for some early aggression. This one, it's just going to be the town center that's going to come up, and it's 4 city for the Themista, so he's not going to have any sort of ability to stop this town center.
No, but he doesn't need to. I mean, he's got his own dwarven armory. He can get some extra dwarfs out. Actually, he will have a villager advantage for a short amount of time, at least with that. And then he can get his own... Whoa. What's this manor going to?
Oh, Prometheans. Prometheans coming through.
Yeah.
And it's just to keep his oracle alive. And the Mystery is just going to be spamming out Hersa for the time being. Now, if he can get out enough of these, sure, he can push across the map and try and deny a town center. But another option for Kimo is he's got double manners in his main base. He hasn't time shifted them over. He might just be going for a village center here.
Hey, he just deleted his Promethean to get the offsprings, which are a little bit faster, so some more scouting information can be grabbed here. But if it's going to be Hersier back home, then he's certainly not going to have a villager or anything like that. And yeah, Miss is doing exactly what we were talking about, that yes, the Hersier can prevent the TC. He might be looking for that village center.
Yes, the village center. There we go. Finally!
Well, can't prevent that.
No.
And boosted by double manner too, so very well mannered, that one.
Now, Mr. has to be thinking, like, he knows to some degree that he's up against the town center already. He knows he hasn't seen any of the actual settlements get grabbed. The way that he sees this is he can take a look at the score drop or the score increase and know that, you know, that something has happened big for his opponent. So, in a way, he knows he's up against the village center, but, you know, he's still checking. So maybe he hasn't quite worked it out.
Evidently
Kimo's
not.
just sitting in his main base, going to be booming it up.
This is just not something you see very often. So I don't think he's expecting it. But it's real. It's right there. He just can't see it like we can. Getting all the armory upgrades, so at least a bunch of units are coming out for him.
It's going to spot it. It's going to see it. And he spotted the village center. There's no more surprises here.
Nice. Definitely was worth it getting in there.
Oh, he stole some goats as well. Can you get them out? Nope. Selects down.
No, Kimo's not letting it.
So I guess the question is now, does Mr. go for an all-in at this point? Or does he go for his own town center? He's dropped a great haul, so he's kind of making his decision in a way, but he's just pulled a whole bunch of villages off of food and put them over onto wood. So this looks like it's going to be a town center. Feels like it's going to be a town center. But it's going to be very far behind Kimo's. But which one do you go for? When your opponent goes for a village center, you have free reign. You can pick whichever one you want.
While he's gearing up towards the back, boy, all the Hersier are coming to this location. He's found a relic as well, but essentially the TC is the pick. Hero movement speed. And together with Hall of Fame's stick stack. This is pretty good stuff,
These things are going to be quick. These guys are going to be very, very quick. He's also got that Hammer of Thunder technology as well, so his Ursa are going to get him more favor, and it looks like he's just building Ursa. We've seen this strat before, and it does get out of control with how much favor he actually gets very quickly. But Kimo's already going up through the Horror Gauge. He's already got Hyperion. He's dropping his military barracks now. There's no real weaknesses in Kimo's position right now, apart from the fact that he didn't really have that many goats. So the farms have to come down, which will slow him down in a fairly big way here.
Well, at the very least, they're built a little bit faster thanks to the manners, but that's minuscule.
Small things. The small things in life.
Hey, Hyperion is good news. It's really just that, how do you make all these food units that are so good about the Heroic Age? Either Heavy Murmillo or Quintarius, both are a rather good match for the Hersier, but I think realistically he's going to make Arcus.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really know what he's facing just yet. I think that's the thing. And Mr.
Oh, he knows now.
Mr. can move. Well, yeah, now he sees all the Hersa. And these Hersa, just for a little bit of a stat check after that relic got dropped in, 5.6 speed. Is it?
That's sick.
5.6 speed. They are zooming.
Murmillo can't do that. So,
You see
what's
Skadi
it gonna
has
be?
got a choice.
Oh, that is
Well,
a
he
choice.
wants to go Skadi. He still needs more food. But I like the Skadi just on the fact that like sometimes all you need to do is get the positioning on the Norse army, and it's just kind of impossible. Not the Norse army, the Atlantean army, and it feels kind of impossible. You frost the half the army, you get into position, you push them back, you get a huge amount of damage. It can be really, really good. And I think we have seen Mr. doing this. He goes for that half frosted army, clean up huge amounts of units. So it's Frosty's a really, really good god power.
It's
More
so
of these great
versatile.
walls coming down. He hasn't put a single longhouse down yet, Naka.
What's a longhouse? Says Mister.
I don't know, man. Great halls. Why would you build any of those? Just great halls.
No idea what you're talking about, Boyd. The only unit that exists is hero and horse.
Well, hero and horse may it be. Contarius is the answer here from Kimo. And why does he want the Contarius? Well, they are speedy. They've got 5.8 speed. They don't get that Poseidon's secret. They don't know what Poseidon's been keeping hiding for all these years.
Damn.
So they don't get to speed around the map. And this is kind of interesting because the Hersa are literally 0.2 speed slower than them. So it's not that big. The difference is not big at all. These Hersa can chase down. The question is though, Naka, stat-wise, who wins this fight?
It should be the Hearst here, right, with the better armor. But then they don't have the same kind of DPS.
Effective HP is actually in favor of the Contarius by 3 at the moment. Well, from base stats, but as more armor comes through, obviously the Hersa get more advantage. So the more stats that come in, I feel like the better the Hersa are going to be.
Mm-hmm. And their upgrades are free, and they're getting favor over time. So,
Dude, there's 21 Hersa out on the map. They're getting a lot. He's trying to put the pressure on as those Hersa can take this fight, and then he can just retreat back, no problems here. Taking the Contarius out on the top position here as well.
Tell you what, the unit fight is very close, but what is a disadvantage is the fact that he's got access to Winter Harvest. That is not something Kronos has. The gather rate from farming for the Mista is gonna be nuts. He's a bit of an expert, you could say.
Yeah, that's true. He realizes that a well harvested winter, a well harvested winter is very important. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I went for something. He wasn't there. It's fine. Hill fort coming down.
Point is, man's gonna eat.
Mr. might. That's right. Mr. might be looking to just go to the next age here. Like he's going to be having. He's got so much favor. Look at the favor. He's got a second temple coming down, so he can spam out stuff. Well, do you go for trolls here, maybe, or do you just make out a whole bunch of frost giants?
Frosties, it's gonna be. Oh, the deconstruct on the fortress is nice there. I have to make a new one. He does need to get himself.
He does need to get himself the gold for those frost giants. That's the problem in a way. Just charging in. He'll be taking this fight. Chaos gets dropped down. Frost. There it is.
Yeah, sure. He's gonna be.
And he is fighting underneath this healing spring as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, he can pull off of this army and go after those unfrosted units. So now this fight goes very much in favor for the Themista. He's getting pulled away by Contarius, not paying attention on that spot, but the Hersa there doesn't matter. They're pulling through. They're going to take out the Satyrs. And all the reinforcements on the back coming forward here. Those Hersa are so strong. What are their armory upgrades looking at? He's got some very, very strong ones there with bronze shields and the copper armor still in.
Yeah, the Archers are just too low in number to directly take this on, and while Frost is expiring, the heroes have healed themselves quite a bit thanks to Healing Spring. As you pointed out earlier, this has not been just a little bit. He pushed back the reinforcements all the way to Kimo's home base. Now, with everyone defrosting, is this actually enough to just fight?
I don't think so. It looks like he's going to have to retreat away, but half of the army of the Themista is out of position on this forward spot, so he might get caught out here, but he's making a good trade for the time being, as Kimo has to get back. But, I mean, I'm just still looking at this favor of the Themista, and look at the temple. He's now building 5-6 trolls at the moment.
Oh my god. Okay, forget the frost giants. These are gonna be the ugly guys. They throw some pretty good rocks, and if it's not hitting heroes, then everyone goes flying. It's so strong, guys. You will see. You will see.
If you hit the micro, or if you hit the boulder at exactly the same time, then all of the damage happens on that area of where the boulder hits, and you can like clean an entire army. The damage is insane, especially when Cave Troll comes through. That's almost in.
He's moving them, but it's gonna hit before.
And there he goes.
Though that happens, several cavalry are dead immediately. Kimo converting some Contarius heroes, trying to take them down the flanks. Good, but the Hersier are responding. They should be fine. Cave Troll's in.
I'm not gonna. I'm not trolling when I say this.
Trolling.
Mister can literally just throw another healing spring down, and it's not going to slow down his troll production at this point.
Trolling. But yes, also you can stack the healing, right?
That's right. That's right. So if you got 2 healing springs on one location, if it's important, like it kind of is here, then now suddenly you're getting 3 HP a second during a fight on every one of your Hersa.
It's insane. Nuts even.
Yeah, and the one thing here that Kimo's missing is probably just making some some Caraballister here. Because those actually do counter these Hersa to a degree. But
He did get a relic for them as well, right? The Eye of Ornu, yeah, there we go.
Yes, he did.
Oh my god, Mister's making all
Mister's
the
grabbing
DCs.
himself 5 town centers. Are you kidding me? He gets spotted down the bottom, but
What is happening?
he's missed the one at the top. Oh, it's up. You don't stop. Wait, will he stop the bottom one? 10 seconds, 13 seconds.
Okay, well, I guess it's time to build up for the biggest Ragnarok you've ever seen, and then we've got Frost ready to go again because we've got 200 favor. Why not?
Yeah, you could just drop it and keep this town center alive. Looks like the Contarius going after it though. Ursa going to turn around and take the fight. Meanwhile, in the top position here, Frost Giants Trolls racing forward. Mister's just got resources up the wazoo here. He's going to be able to click up to the next age momentarily as well. I feel like he's just having fun in this game right now as Kimo is desperately trying to survive here. Palace in the front here also going to be going down Nakamura.
The bottom TC still alive with 9 Hershey protecting it, garrisoning through to get the boys attacking, but oh my god, the gold villagers. They're disappearing.
And there's the frost on the bottom, all the gold villagers getting absolutely erased there. Oof. And Kimo taps out. Mister claims game number 2, Nakamura. What a game. What a strategy. What a demonstration of sheer power from the Mister.
You could say he laid the hammer down. Wow.
You literally had a lot of hammers being laid down there.
That's insane. Just looking through the graphs, he's got 88 kills to 27. I think that tells the story of this entire match. He barely lost anything. He always pulled back to heal. Killed everything Kimo sent his way. That's basically what happened.
Yeah, I mean, we sort of touched on it a little bit. At base, Contarius will beat just barely a Hersa. However, when they're not at base, the longer the game goes on, the more stats you get from armor. So those Hersa just get more and more strong. So they're actually in the heroic age with bronze armor, bronze shields. They are just better than those Contarius. The unit that beats the Hersa is the Murmillo, or it's the Caraballister.
Yeah, the Murmillo would just be so cost effective here. And I'm really surprised that Kimo never considered them.
Yeah, or you make Fanatics as well.
Yep.
Obviously, he's not in the Mythic Age, but, you know, nonetheless.
54 Hertz, here's this game.
Towards... is that enough? I think it was. I mean, actually, I want to see one more stat here.
Uh-oh.
Timeline. total favor collected.
Yes. Almost 500. My God. Versus 141. Yep. Pretty good stuff.
That's something. That's something. All right, guys, we'll move on to game number 4. Can Kimo pull it back or game number 4? Ladies and gentlemen, match points for the Themista. As he's currently up 2-1. He's spawned in the right-hand corner of the map in the blue color, playing as Ra.
On the other side of the map, in the red, this is our Oranos gamer Kimo on his last live. He has to make this happen somehow. What's the strat, Boyd? What can we do with this map layout as Oranos? Just what we talked about with the Promethean spam?
Yeah. Yeah, you're already looking at this and you're going, okay, town center situation. Ford town center secures a gold mine to some degree. So you want to try and deny that if at all possible. If you're not able to deny it, you just want to be as aggressive as you possibly can. I do not rate a far second town center here from Oranos in the slightest. That being said, if you do go to town center, there is going to be some sort of timing you can go for to try and break through with like Contarius and the like. But then you're playing into the camel rider problem where that's going to be a thing. Now, another completely different strategy, which doesn't revolve around Prometheans at all, which we didn't touch on, is the 3DB idea, which isn't a timing. It's not a timing attack at all. It's a death ball construction attempt. And that death ball is Catapulti and either Terma or Caraballister, and just everything's a hero. Now, I don't know if Kimo knows about that strat. I'm sure he played 3DB at some point in his latter experience, but it is very potent against the Egyptians. So, 2 very potent strategies here, plus some other like sort of timing attacks can be very strong as well. Mr. on the other hand, what does he have to get? What does he have to be worried about here is the big question. Do you say anything, Naka?
As a little bit of an exposed gold mine, I don't suppose we'll see the main bully too much initially. But he's also not walling it off, so you really can't rule it out. Kimo's queuing up a ton of citizens, but he's now canceling them. I guess he'll get the normal advance time. What else is there? His hunt is not particularly safe anywhere. But he is Ra. He does get the 25% extra gather rate on the pumpkins.
That's right. You don't have to leave your base for hunt. You've got it. You got 2 of them. You got 2 pairs of hunt in your main base. How nice is that?
That is super convenient. I think what Themista is in fact going to do is just play the Vadget Classical Age. Try to find some nice positions. He's moving a ton of villagers now over to wood. Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to be. So 3 barracks is what we should be expecting. Before any heroic is attempted. Probably no 2 TC here because of the wood transition already happening. Second monument. Yeah, this is definitely just a Patak Classical Age.
And on the other side here we are now starting to see some oracles coming out for Kimo, who does have plans to make some cheeky little Promethean shenanigans happen. And it looks like he's going 1 town center for the time being. He does have 4 villagers on wood, but he can always take those off a little bit later. Now, we've seen sort of Terma Prometheans be very, very strong before, and Terma against the classical fight, at least in the early stages, is very, very strong as well. So what's he going to drop down? Counter barracks? Counter barracks. And on the other side, you're absolutely right, a barracks coming down for the Themista, or 2, as well as those Wadgets will start producing.
Yeah, of course, when you have already 4 villagers on this, it might be a bit heavier on Wadgets, so the 3rd barracks not a guarantee, but we should be seeing it eventually as the economy grows. For Kimo is just a double Terma at the moment. I do think he has to swap out of that eventually, as the Spearman will be a menace. Going up against this Theft of Fire finishes, giving him some extra eco. Every Valor should be going on the villagers, really. That's the biggest cost saving he can do.
Yeah, Kimo really likes grabbing this kind of early Theft of Fire as well, which I don't know, man. Like, I feel like it's more of a late game tech. Get a whole bunch of heroes out later, get Theft of Fire, and then you're in for a good spot. I don't know, but he's going to get the Terma out nonetheless, and he's going to be starting to look to get some sort of pressure at some point as Mr. He's just sitting in his base waiting, watching. And the thing about Wadgets is it kind of shuts down the Terma poke and prod sort of ideas.
Yeah, it's not been as much of a thing in Retold anyway, because the Terma are just not as impressive. No free medium archers, no nothing. And their DPS is just not as good. He got caught too. That's an ouchie.
Yeah, any little bits of damage here does really, really matter.
We talked about this at the very beginning.
You can't heal him back.
Sorry, go on.
Yes. You can't heal him up. I mean, you're right. We did talk about it at the very beginning where Kimo kind of moves around the map with a movement command rather than attack moving, and it does get himself caught out quite a bit. Oh, Oracle spotted and Oracle down. Tango down.
Nice one. Nice one. These Oranos ones are particularly pesky, so gotta watch out for that increased gather rate.
Yeah, Kimo moves forward yet again, and he's going to get sent packing. And look at this for a mystery, just healing in the face of those Terma. Another Terma falling here as Kimo's going to have to pull back into his main base.
He's also empowering the obelisk, so I'm a huge fan of this. There's no better use for that priest right now, so why not just get the extra vision? Covering a pretty big area compared to the other monuments. Big fan.
Oh, this is what makes Mr. so good at this game. It's just literally the vision. He's effectively got map hacks at this moment on. Well, he's got vision on the map for like 80% of the map right now. So there's nothing that's going to get him caught out.
I hear a market finishing up. We're very, very far away from the heroic age, but it's good to have it. It's all Terma.
Surely
what is he gonna do when
slowly
these
but
guys
surely
come?
this Wadget army is just getting closer and closer, and now it's in the main base of Kimo, and he's got no answer for it.
I just feel like Kimo can get knocked off of his wood, his food, and it's just really painful when that happens.
Yeah, some of the Terma do move off to the right here to try and pull back. They're going to get little bits of damage done, and Mr. says, all right, I'm not going to chase you. I'm going back into your main base. Obelisks are coming down here. Kimo does have a nice safe base here at the back. He's got that Karabalista hero in, which can be somewhat of a help. But we'll see if Mr. is going to be able to deal with this, or Kimo is going to be able to deal with this, I should say, as he's still just trying to get those pokes, and he hasn't really managed to pick much off. Promethean getting taken out there as the alluvial clay Promethean offspring going to have to retreat back into the main base.
Well, whatever goldmine situation Mr. had to be worried about looking at the map, he certainly played around it. He's now the aggressor. Doesn't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah, the only thing is he doesn't know how to get that gold star of Kimo. Kimo's got only 800 gold, so really all he has to do is wait. And he's got a shifting sands here as well, if necessary.
Yep, there's absolutely no rush to go in. Mist has a huge army advantage. He's not really behind in villagers. He's got a defensive group at home against any potential Terma shenanigans. Really nothing to worry about. He's got the vision also. Those obelisks are doing a number.
Yes, you can't even sneak a gold mine with a sky passage at this point, because Mr. sees everything.
Yeah, just looking at his view, he really does have full coverage. There's nothing going past him.
Now Kimo says, I got to take a fight here. He's so far behind on population. Those Wadgets are just getting so much damage done as the spearmen charging forward here. Shockwave onto a handful of spearmen on the front. That's not the shockwave he was looking for, as this army from the Themista is looking dominating.
That really was not the best. The Prometheans at the front are melting, and now the Slingers can target the ranged units, which they're really good against. Spearmen pulling back a little bit to force the tournament to follow. There's way more units coming in from Mr. 100 population versus 34. How could you possibly win here as Kimo? I think he just has to sit behind his base and hope for the best. But even then, I mean, Mr. is just going to go 175 population if he lets him. This seems to be no good answer.
Racing. Now it's going to be electron bullets. It's going to be medium slingers. The units are now moving out onto the bottom side of the map, checking out the gold mine. Some Terma are going to be chasing across the map, but these spearmen, they're fast enough here. They've got the armor upgrades as well, and sure, Terma are going to get a little bit of damage, but slingers are coming over here to help as well. And there's just no units here for Kimo at the moment.
Yeah, none whatsoever. He can't really escape his main. A bunch of villagers are going on an expedition, but the spearmen are coming after them, and Kimo gets knocked down into the bronze round as Themista wants those finals right now.
Yeah, congrats to Themista, a dominating display after a bit of a rocky start to this series. I mean, the highlight here was those Hursa, but I mean, this with Thor, but this game here, Wadget's push forward. I just don't think Kimo came at this with the right plan, so to speak. Like, sure, Wadgets are really good, but you know what beats the Wadgets to some degree? If you build enough Promethean, this is the reason why Promethean are good against them. Okay, so if you build Promethean, the Wadgets, they start stacking their poison on the Promethean, then it dies, but then that poison gets reset, and all of a sudden you've still got 3 Prometheans offspring remaining to bash away. So it's a really, really nice sort of counter to this unit. Plus, they're very good against the spearmen, they're really good against the slingers, they're really good against the axemen, and the priests, you know, there's only going to be a handful of them. You can't kill off all the Promethean after all is said and done, but he doesn't go for it. He just goes for Terma. Only a handful of Prometheans out, and he's spending his favor elsewhere, and he's just not able to hold on in this one, Naka.
Exactly right, Boyd. Exactly right. You summed it all up. We want to thank our MetaPlays website subscribers. Your contribution helps us keep the project sustainable. As we reach higher subscription goals, you are helping us cover more and more behind-the-scenes costs, such as video editing. Check out our subscription page using the link in the description, and remember to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.